Welcome back. Just like Sagir said before we went on the break, this is the phone-in discussion segment. I'm sure this is one of your favorite segments on the program where you get to air your view. It is yours, I guess. So, but the topic up for discussion is protests and challenges. What is your take? A lot of Nigerians will tell you there is no turning back on the End Bad Governance protests fueled by hunger and hardship. The 10-day protest against President Bola Tinubu's policies will only stop with major intervention. And some challenges that may occur during the End Bad Governance protest, which the federal government has actually come out to say these are their fears, includes security concerns, government crackdown, logistical issues, communication breakdowns, public disruption, resource management, media representation, and legal challenges. So you can like to join us on the discussion segment. All you need to do is phone in and then we'll hear your take. Indeed.
We're eager to get those takes. Please phone in and let's hear the developments in your end. Tell us how the developments are shaping up. I know that it's too early for the protest to have commenced, but then again, who can tell? Sometimes some people like to be early to the occasion. So call us with your thoughts, your comments, your concerns, your contributions on this development, and let's know how the protest is taking shape in your end. And of course, let's know how the city or the areas where you stay look like. Yes, definitely, the government has come out on several occasions to say that, look, don't protest. Let's dialogue. Talk to us. Come to the table. Let's negotiate. Let's have, a one-on-one. We can address these issues without you necessarily hitting the streets. Well, Nigerians, as Nigerians that they are, said we don't want that. We want to hit the streets and want to let our voices be heard. And then at a point, the government came up with the concern that it's going to be hijacked, and Nigerians say, well, it is only one who has plans to do certain things that comes out to, make certain advisories. Now, this is not me alleging anything or accusing anybody of anything, of course, but then again, Nigerians have been really worried as to the reason why the government has continued to push the narrative that the protest would be hijacked when most protesters, are just intending to come out with intentions to voice out and ventilate their anger. But then there you have it, our first caller on the show this morning. Good morning and welcome to Daybreak Interactive. What's your name and where are you calling from? Okay, so quick rules of engagement. I would want for you to turn down the volume of your TV set, else it interferes with the conversation. Another caller there. Good morning, welcome to Daybreak Interactive. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, my name is Shetima Yakudima, calling from Maiduguri.
Good morning, Shetima. How's Maiduguri this morning?
Maiduguri is cool, Mr.
Sagir, of course.
Yes. So we have rain yesterday night again.
Oh, okay. So
Maiduguri is cool.
It seems Maiduguri is a cool atmosphere to have a protest.
Honestly.
So how is it shaping up over there?
Well, this morning as we wake up now, everywhere is silent and is in order. But we don't know. We are praying to be like morning hours up to the evening hours, up throughout the time of this proposal protest. Mr. Sagir, honestly speaking, this protest, as I was always saying, and I was always calming the youths in Maiduguri, especially from my area, that this protest will not yield any good result.
Shetima, you've been very, very vocal about this. We had this same conversation yesterday and even the day before, and it seems like your stance remains unchanged.
Oh, honestly, Mr. Sagiri, because I earlier tell you yesterday, if anybody did not value peace, let him come to Maiduguri and ask us. If you think tension will provide good result, come to Maiduguri and ask us. We will tell you. Because we see a lot. That's why we are telling Nigerians to exercise patience. No matter how difficult you find yourself, if you are in peace and you are in a health, you are healthy. Your health is guaranteed. These difficulties, by the will of God, it will come and pass.
Indeed. Well,
but in a situation whereby the whole country was turned into unpeace, we will not see good result, honestly.
Indeed. Thank you so much for this contribution. People don't know
what tension is all about.
Definitely.
If you are not in peace, nothing good will go. This is the truth of the matter.
Definitely, Shetima.
So
Thank you.
I say,
thank you so much.
We are predominant of this, the population of this country. We are Muslim and then Christians. We all believe in prayers.
Indeed.
Let's not engage in prayers. This is a testing time, and it is from God. Even though it is triggered by this fuel subsidy removal. But if we take heart, even Mr. President has promised us that something will be done.
Well, Shetima, you see, this is the problem, because Nigerians are saying that enough with the promises, and it's now time for the actions. It's been promises, and more promises without any actions to follow up these promises. And perhaps this is the reason why they've decided to hit the streets.
It's true. But honestly, in the earlier time, even the promises did not alter by the president.
All right.
But now he has opened his mouth and make these promises. Let him give him a time.
Shetima, thank you so much for these contributions. We'll definitely be having this conversation again tomorrow so as to know the updates on these developments. But then Shetima called all the way from Maiduguri with his contributions into the matter. He says it's best that Nigerians, pray to God to ensure that these, we see a change in these developments. I'm sure that quite a number of people might not agree with, Shetima there, but that's Shetima's recommendation to solve the problems that Nigeria has. We have another caller now. Good morning. Welcome to Daybreak Interactive. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, morning. I'm calling from Maiduguri.
Okay, Maiduguri. Please tell us your name.
Name is Mohammed.
Mohammed from Maiduguri. Welcome to the program. Go ahead with your contributions.
You're welcome. In fact, in Maiduguri, we are very cool and okay.
That's nice.
We are not supporting this protest, in fact. But really, government has failed us. We are in hunger. But we don't want to come out and protest for it.
Why, Mohammed?
It will bring a lot of things. We know why. Because in Maiduguri, we have undergone so many things.
Go ahead, Mohammed.
We have undergone so many things. In Maiduguri, we have seen so many things. We have undergone so many things. We don't need violence again. Because if we come out for the protest, some people will vandalize so many things. Because let me tell you, in fact, as I'm telling you this, we are not, even the state government, we are not in support of it because they are doing so many things that is not good. But what we are saying is we are looking for our children one. That's why we don't like this protest. We just come and see what God will do for us.
All right, Mohammed. Thank you so much for these contributions. Mohammed also called all the way from Maiduguri. Aisha, you see what Mohammed and Shetima have in common is the fact that they both called from Maiduguri, Borno State, a state where they're still grappling and recovering from the traumas of Boko Haram and insurgency.
And I'm inclined to agree with them because for you, except you've seen it firsthand, you may not know what it means, the extent.
But then again, we have another caller. Good morning, welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, your name and your location, please.
My name is Ajibola Kamardin.
Calling from where, sir?
Calling from Suleja.
All right, Mr. Ajibola, go ahead with your contributions. Tell us how the protest is taking shape over there in Suleja.
Suleja is cool and fine.
Okay. So what's your take on the situation? Protest or not protest? Where do you stand?
Not protest.
Okay.
Protest cannot give us the answer.
So what will give us the answer, Mr. Ajibola?
The answer is just patience and prayer. Patience and prayer, yes.
All right. So what's your call to those who have decided to hit the streets despite the government's appeal?
Well, if they want to go, let them go peacefully and go back peacefully. That's all.
All right, Mr. Ajibola, thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much for your contributions, Mr. Ajibola. Mr. Ajibola called all the way from Suleja. I must say that Mr. Ajibola is a man of very few words.
And he's saying, everybody should just go back home. There's no need for the protest. And it's talking about the protest taking shape. We're seeing some reports, we have seen from Kano that there is a one-man protest. Someone is on the street with the placard and all that. And we've also seen pictures and sights and sounds from bus stop in Maraba. Commercial buses not available to convey commuters to various places of work. I was actually going to come to that because if we're talking about protests today, how is it going to be for people who are to go to work today?
Well, because in case quite a number of you don't know, especially for our viewers, the federal government did not announce a public holiday. It means that today is a work day. So if you fail to go to the office today, especially if you're a civil servant, I must say you're on your own. So this is the reason why you should also reconsider, the thought of joining the protest. While those who have decided to do so, barring any consequences. If you know these are consequences that you cannot contend with, then just go to work. We have another caller now. Good morning, welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling from? Okay, so quick rules of engagement. Can you please turn down the volume of your TV set? As if you don't do that, we won't be able to have a seamless conversation.
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and your location, please.
Okay, I'm Mohammed Yahya, calling from Abuja.
Mohammed from Abuja, go ahead with your contributions.
My take on this issue of protest is that this is the only way a commoner can show their grievances with the government. That what is happening in Nigeria is totally unacceptable, my brother. Hello?
We can hear you.
I'm with you.
Okay. So you see a lot of things that during this protest agitation, you see in Abuja here, from the 5 days now, the petrol station have not been available to buy petrol in the easy way. So you must go far and search for a fuel station before you can fuel your car. Okay, there's nothing is working in this country, my brother. Let's speak the truth. Only those people that are getting no protest, they should protest, no protest. They know. I don't know what they are thinking. Are they human beings? Nothing. But we know. We just appeal for the peaceful protest. You understand? We appeal for the peaceful protest. Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Okay, that's my take on the protest. Let the commoners, let the poor masses, let the youth, the Nigerians should come out and show the government that this is what we are going through.
Indeed.
This is what we are going through.
A popular scholar once said, the voice of the people is the voice of God. Indeed. Thank you so much for those contributions there.
Just like we stated earlier on the program that Nigerians have divergent views regarding this protest. Some are for it, others are against it. Some would tell you what's really going to be the solution. What impact does this protest intend to have on what we're complaining about? While others would say, just like Mohammed just said in Abuja here now, that it's better we come out, let the government know, let them hear it from the horse's mouth. Perhaps they're not listening enough. Maybe when we come out and we protest, they may then hear us.
Indeed, Aisha, and I couldn't agree more because, we've heard stories and I've even seen firsthand of what the rising cost of living has done to families. I've seen situations where fathers, cannot even afford to eat because what's available is just enough to cater for their children, and their immediate family. So they have to starve for long hours doing menial jobs just in order to be able to afford some of these commodities. I've seen situations where people go to the market with 5,000 naira. We saw the trending video, of those developments of a man crying in the market because he had 5,000 naira and he couldn't buy anything tangible or reasonable to take back home to the family. So these are real situations that Nigerians are going through, and these are some of the reasons why these Nigerians have damned the consequences to say, despite whatever the government is saying, we are going to make our voices heard because we have a right to assembly. And of course, we have a right to freedom of movement. These are the issues. We have another caller now. Good morning. Welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello. Good morning. My name is Mohammed from Gombe.
Another Mohammed, but this time from Gombe. Good morning. Welcome to the program, Mohammed. Go ahead with your contributions.
Quite all right. I've seen what the people... Hello. Can you hear me?
I'm with you, Mohammed.
So my contribution or my submission on this protest is quite all right. It's high time for Nigerians to protest. But the problem that I think the organizers lack is that they failed to sensitize the citizen on how to organize this protest in the right channel so that at least it will protect the citizen and also protect the government property. Why I say so is because that now most of the organizers of this protest cannot be identified.
But they've begun to come forward. I mean, the Take It Back movement has been quite vocal, and I've taken this front stage to, show to the government that, well, we are indeed behind the protest and we are supporting the protest to go on.
Yeah, quite all right. I'm supporting the protest, but I'm just giving my submission that actually, if you look at the way it is critically, Nigerians need this protest, quite all right. Because most of the things that accumulate to the leading of the protest are very obvious. Obvious. If you look at the cost of living, electricity, fuel, gas cooker, whatsoever, even firewood and charcoal, now you cannot afford. How can you feed your family? 1,000 naira cannot feed you in a day. I think this is something that is very serious. And if you look at the statement that they are coming from some of our leaders, particularly the Senate President, when they have said that if you want, you should go ahead and protest. Well, we'll be there eating. And some governors are even saying that they cannot pay that 70,000 minimum wage. It's demoralizing.
Indeed, it is. So
you understand?
The insensitivities of the government to the plight of the people might have in one way or the other fueled the call for the protest even more. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right then, Mohammed, thank you so much. Mohammed called all the way from Gombe with his contributions on the program. But then again, this isn't the first time, Aisha, that Nigerians have called into the program to voice out their seeming discontent with how the government at all levels have reacted to these developing issues, especially with regards to coming to Nigerians with a human face to say, look, we understand what you're going through. We see the challenges that you're facing and we're with you every step of the way. It's one thing to say these things and it's another thing to show in action that you do understand. And how would you expect Nigerians to see these actions in terms of, reducing the cost of your luxury and what do you call it now, your entourage, be it cars. You see a senator or a governor moving with an entourage of, say, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars. In some cases, it could be more. The cost of fueling these cars is a lot of money. This is aside the fact that they take home bumper pay. And Nigerians are out there struggling to get something to eat with 5,000 naira that cannot buy anything tangible. Nigerians watch these people spend so flamboyantly online, attend lavish weddings, spray monies in hard currencies and even in 1,000 naira notes. And, they watch all of these and they're like, you're telling us to be patient, you're telling us to calm down in one end, and in another end, you're doing the direct opposite. Else. So if we don't come out to voice these concerns,
and then I think another thing Mohammed raised, just our last caller, is about identification of sponsors of this protest. You'd recall that earlier in the week, the DSS, Department of State Services, said they have identified the sponsors of this protest, and also they're collaborating with the EFCC just so that they vet their accounts in case there's any fraudulent or criminal activities or activities related to terrorism going on with their accounts. So I think I would say the government has come out to identify some of the sponsors of this protest. However, I think our major concern is that you cannot in its entirety tell how a protest is going to go. It may just go south.
And this is the reason for the concern, Aisha. Why has the government continued to paint the protest like it's going to turn out violence the moment it starts? I mean, the NSAS protest was one of the biggest protests we've had in this decade, save for the Occupy Nigeria protest in 2012. And it didn't turn violent until like the 5th or 6th day. So if that protest could go on peacefully, continuously before this alleged hijack happened, then why isn't it possible for these protests, to happen at least in the interim with security operatives on scene to guarantee the safety and the security of not just the protesters, but the critical infrastructures that's going to be adjacent to them while they are carrying out these peaceful demonstrations? If that starts and there's any breakdown of law and order, I mean, then we can start to have the conversations of, I mean, we warned you, we told you that this might happen, now it's happening, and I think it's time to shut it down. But not trying to shut it down in the beginning when it's a fundamental right.
Right. And now, speaking of peaceful demonstration, we are seeing currently some reports from Lagos, also Kano, protesters gathering at Momentum at the popular Ikeja underbridge in Lagos. And also, we're also seeing shots and pictures of videos from empty streets of major roads, especially Zoo Road and Zaria Road in Kano. We've also seen youth storming the streets along Zoo Road in Kano. We're just going to keep up with what's happening, the events as they unfold regarding the protest. We can only hope that it doesn't turn out violent.
Yeah, well, we can only hope. And then again, Trust TV, like I said, will be bringing you a full coverage of all of these developments. Very soon, we'll be showing you sights and scenes from across the different states of the country, you know, as the events develop. But then again, please keep those calls, those comments, those concerns, and those chats coming in, so Nigerians get to hear, get to see, and, you know, get to feel some of the issues as they develop. Because, I mean, somebody in Maiduguri will want to know what's going on, you know, in Ekiti. Somebody in Makurdi would want to know what's going on in Abia State. So definitely, please keep those calls, those comments, those concerns coming in. And of course, if you see something and you can record it, please do well to send it to us via WhatsApp on the number that's already displayed on the screen. But then again, the conversation continues indeed. So, Aisha, well, like you said,
Okay, another thing here would be social media. Yesterday, I was scrolling through social media and I saw that some group of, I'd say, lawyers, they call themselves League for Social Justice. They are offering free legal services to victims of the arrest during August #EndBadGovernance protests in Abuja and Lagos. So I think this again brings out the patriotism and the spirit of Nigerians.
Talk about people taking precaution.
Do you understand? So they're just saying, just in case anything happens, we're here to offer you free legal services. And right now we have another caller joining us on the program. What's your name and where are you calling us from, please? We've lost the caller, and we're hoping to take more of your calls so you can call in and join the discussion. We're looking at issues around the protest and the challenges. Would like to hear your take.
Yeah, it's seeming like the government seems to be one step, but then again the protesters come and they are, you know, they level up immediately. So now this is a development talking about free legal services. But then remember when the IG was saying, well, we're concerned that this is going to be, it's going to turn violent and all of that. And I recall in the meeting that the IGP had with Barrister Ebolu Adegboruwa SAN and also Femi Falana SAN just 2 days ago, where they said, give us the names of the police officers who are going to be present, you know, at the protest venue, so that we know that when these breakdowns happen, we know who to call. But then again, we have another caller on the program. Good morning, welcome to Daybreak Interactive. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning, brother.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ibrahim Pocho, calling from Kebbi State.
Ibrahim, I've been waiting for this call. I've been waiting for this call for quite a while now. So tell us how it's shaping up in Kebbi this morning.
Well, in Kebbi State, as you know, there is no protest because of some directives from the state government. They have banned a lot of youth that were intended to protest. So at the moment, the Kebbi State is not protesting, but there are reactions from concerned citizens calling on the concerned authorities to let people demonstrate their displeasure in order to fix what is wrong from the people. And having said that,
go ahead, Ibrahim.
Based on what is happening between Lagos and Abuja and other states is alarming, like the calls from the courts. What is even baffling me is the fact that courts are giving orders restricting people from protesting.
Indeed.
It's very unconstitutional.
Indeed.
And as for the Senate President, who was working tirelessly trying to show people that they have the concern over people, for him to utter such a statement in a moment like this, it shows that the leaders have no monumental of concern. They don't have the people at heart at all, and that is annoying. So I pity the people from the geopolitical zone that man came from. How are they going to feel based on his own reaction? Because the words he uttered is very unpleasant. So I felt that the president needs to stand up. They need to stop playing politics on this whole issue. This is beyond politics now.
Indeed.
People are angry. People are tired. We can no longer control the reaction from people, despite the fact that we have been trying so hard to convince them not to bet. It appears that the government is enjoying the pain that people are passing through.
I mean, Ibrahim, you know, initially you were in support of dialogue, but then this position changed.
Yes.
Was it because, I mean, does the actions or inactions of the government, and in this case some of the government officials, does it further reinforce your decision to now support this protest as it is? I mean, you just spoke about what, you know, the Senate president said and how it might have in one way or the other sounded offensive.
Exactly. Well, if you look at what is happening, even look at Gombe State government, who come on media to say that we cannot pay the amount paid by the federal government as the amount of 70,000 naira. That even that of 30,000 naira, they are struggling so hard to pay. It is so embarrassing. So they shouldn't have uttered such statements in a time like this. So I don't think there is need for any dialogue again. So people need to come out and express their displeasure, so that let the government know that they are not cowards. They have been silent because they obey the constitutional rights, and they also obey and respect the peace living condition of the nation. That is why I was against protesting. But now it appears that the government has no care, has no concern over the people.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Ibrahim Potro.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. All the way from Kebbi State, Ibrahim with his contributions on the program. So, Aisha, Ibrahim and I have been having this back and forth where he calls on the program and we discuss, just like Shatima, a regular caller on the program, and initially he spoke vehemently against the protest. All of a sudden, on the program yesterday, Ibrahim called and he said he is fully in support of the protest this time because of the way that and the manner that the government, you know, have handled the issues. One would have expected, like he said, you know, the government to show some sort of understanding of the situation, you know, of empathy, Nigerians, and some compassion, empathy, which is what he has, you know, been mentioning. And also the fact where the government, some state governments, has gone as far as getting court judgments barring protesters from protesting, and you know, this raising questions of whether it is legitimate or it's even possible to use a court judgment, you know, to bar protesters who have the right to protest, or to, you know, freedom of movement and also freedom of assembly in the first place. But then again, talking about developments and how it's shaping up across the different states, we have joining us now Abdulateef Aliyu, who joined us from Lagos to give updates on the development. Good morning, Abdulateef. Welcome to the program. How is the development this morning from Lagos? Has there been any demonstration? Has it started? Tell us, you know, how it's shaping up over there.
Oh, yes. Good morning, and thank you for having me. Yes, the protest actually started very early this morning.
Interesting.
As early as 7 o'clock. The protesters, they gathered at the popular Ikeja under bridge in Lagos. And you know, mostly when you're having demonstrations and protests like this, it usually starts from that end, where they will now move to wherever they are going to. And this actually started amidst every security presence. You have mobile police, the officers of the rapid response squad, and several other security agencies were on ground to actually provide security for the protesters.
Abdulateef, initially the Attorney General of Lagos State had gotten a court judgment barring the protesters from only exercising their demonstration and their right to protest in the Ganifa Emi Freedom Park in Ojota and also the Peace Park in Ketu. So have there been any protesters outside those areas? And of course, have the protesters started, you know, the protest procession style on the streets?
Yes, absolutely. That was what the court said, restricting the protesters to Ganifa Emi Park and the Peace Park and so on. But really, the protesters, they insisted that they're actually marching towards Alausa Secretariat, which is the street of government. So, and at the moment now, the demonstration started from Ikeja under bridge.
Okay.
They marched through the Awolowo Road down to Ale roundabout, and presently they are on their way to Alausa. Alausa Secretariat, where we have the seat of power, the government house, and also the House of Assembly.
Okay. Speak to us about the conduct of both the demonstrators and the security agencies. Have there been any need to suspect that there might be any form of disagreements or fracas in between?
Yes, this morning what we had was that as they were actually gathering to commence their march towards Alausa, that some thugs were actually trying to infiltrate the protesters. But at least, due to the heavy security presence, they were able to actually address that issue. And at least some of the thugs, some of the suspected thugs were actually retrieved from the real protesters. So far, the protest has been very peaceful. They have been marching towards Alausa Secretariat with placards and banners, stating their demands and so on. And one of the things they actually demanded for is the reversal to pre-May 29 fuel price and so on, because they said that is basically what is actually causing the hardship in the land. But so far, the protest has been peaceful. The security has been very massively present. They are directly behind the protesters and also in front of the protesters. And also by the side of the protesters, the security agencies are also there to ensure that to ensure that they are not actually infiltrated by thugs.
Okay.
Now, Abdulateef, you said the protesters are proceeding towards Alausa Secretariat, which is the seat of government. I'd like to know, is there any other point of convergence, or that is their final stop for today? Perhaps maybe another day it's going to be another point.
Yeah, well, until they actually get there, because what we actually thought again is that when they started from the Ikeja under bridge, from there they can actually also walk to Ojota Park. Interaction we had with some of them, they said they are going to allow us to pay us first, where they will go and register their grievances. Whether they will be received by the governor or the Speaker of the House of Assembly, we presently don't know until they actually get there. And we also don't know their itinerary for the day. They can either decide to just stay around that Alausa Secretariat or walk towards Freedom Park, because there are roads that actually link to Freedom Park from Alausa. So we are still watching and monitoring the situation to see how it will actually go.
All right, Abdulateef. I think finally now, talk to us about the size of the demonstrators. I'm talking numbers. What's your rough estimates pertaining to the number of demonstrators who are currently on the streets, voicing out these concerns?
Well, they are in their hundreds. They are in their hundreds, and among them we notice some
notable personalities.
Notable personalities, just society activists, and so on, all kinds of placards and banners and so on. But they are in their hundreds. We can't really ascertain the number, but the number is huge.
Okay.
The number is huge. Yeah.
Abdulateef, I was going to ask earlier if there is any form of maybe government personality coming to speak to them, but you did say it is to be seen what is going to be the outcome. We're just going to have to wait to see when they eventually gather at Alausa Secretariat there, and then we'll pick the conversation up from there.
Definitely. Abdulateef, thank you so much for the update. We definitely will be touching base with you subsequently as events develop. Do well to stay safe and observe the demonstration, of course, from a safe distance.
All right.
Thank you so much. There you have it, developments, and more developments on the issues. In Lagos, it has started. The protesters in their hundreds marching from Ojota to Alausa, if I got Abdulateef correctly. Going to the Alausa Secretariat, the seat of government. Hopefully the governor will be there to address them. These are the developments. The protest seems to have commenced in earnest, Aisha.
Just like in Kano too, I told you earlier, we have seen videos and pictures of protesters also gathering, perhaps in their hundreds, at the Zoo Road there, to make out their demands with placards and all that. So it is to be seen what becomes of this protest by the end of the day. I think the protesters are hoping that by the end of the day, the government gets to hear them, Perhaps they've not been speaking in the language the government understands. Maybe now the government would then understand that there is hardship in the land, there is hunger, and the government would then feel what they're actually feeling. And we have another caller joining us on the program. Good morning, and what's your name and where are you calling us from? Good morning.
Hello, good morning. So while we expect you to call back, we'll be going on a quick breather shortly. But then again, developments is that the protest has started across the country. In Lagos, in Kano, we're hoping to get more updates from different parts of the country, and we definitely will be sharing these videos, pictures, sights, and scenes on these developments as they come up from the different parts of the country. We'll go on a quick break now, and when we return, the program continues. Stay with us.